Hey neighbor, welcome back. It's 2026. Welcome to the Row by Row Gardening Show, the best dadgum gardening show on the internet, where we talk about gardening, a little bit of cooking, and growing your own food. Now sit back and enjoy. Well, it's 2026. It's time to move on. I have noticed everybody's got cabin fever in all the forums on Facebook and everything. They want projects. They're thinking about what to be doing, and it just dawned on me yesterday. In 2 weeks, we're going to start seeding tomato plants for our southern customers in the south. I mean, in 2 weeks, we're going to start seeding tomatoes. So it is go time.
So they'll be ready to plant in 8 weeks?
8 weeks. We'll have them. Our first shipping for our southern folks is going to be the 1st of March. So to do that, we've got to plant them the 15th of January. So it has snuck up on me. Of all people, it snuck up on me and got me. I feel like I'm unprepared. Look like I'm behind. But I got an email coming out Saturday morning, talking about a good wintertime project, planting celery. Now's a good time to plant all your brassicas for your springtime, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower.
Your cool season flowers?
Cool season flowers. That's another good point. And for you guys that want something to do right now, it's a good time to plant your spring celery crop. I kind of lay it out in that email how to do that. We grew it in the fall, we grew it in the spring, we grew it all winter long, but it's a perfect opportunity to plant celery right now. And a good opportunity to plant other things as well. So today, we're going to focus on 2026.
Mm-hmm. Look at these calendulas, still
beautiful.
Blooming. I think this is the Prince mix.
It is.
We've got them out in the front, and they're just gorgeous.
Yeah, we got some new varieties that we're trialing out. We got some planted in the greenhouse right now. Some beautiful calendulas.
The double lemon.
Mm-hmm. So we're big. Oh man, we just love our calendulas. Big fans of them, and they come in different colors and everything. We're going to be adding some to the website. They've done extremely well this all winter long.
Yeah. Next week, you and Evan are going to talk about the new flowers.
Yep. Next week we'll be laying out some of our new products for 2026. But what about 2026? How are we going to look at 2026 different? Mm-hmm. You know, kind of the vibe around here is to start looking at gardening, and not just gardening, but we're going to apply it to gardening, but start looking at our mistakes a little bit different, learning from our mistakes, and not be scared to make mistakes.
Was 2025 a rough year for you?
It was different for me, yeah. I'm ready to move on.
It was rough for me.
Yeah.
I was reading, and they said kind of think about it as, you know, how when I move the furniture around and you go into a room and everything's been moved, that's kind of how I feel our holidays maybe went. Everything was moved.
Yeah. We had a rough tour. The first part of the year wasn't too bad. It was the end of 2025. It was kind of rough. We lost a family member. We lost a beloved pet 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you had a sickness that kind of got you down. So it's been kind of a tough end of the year. But you know what? Optimism.
Yeah.
Looking forward to 2026. And understanding that those mistakes and those trials and tribulations that you go through is going to strengthen you to move forward to make the best of it.
Yeah. Thinking about my foot issues that started in August, so we're going on 6 months here.
Started with an abscessed tooth.
Yeah.
Of all things. And then moved into staph infection in your foot. So.
And in my blood. And I'm still not over it. I still have trouble doing things in the garden that I like to do. And instead of focusing on what I can't do,
focus on what you can do.
I'm going to focus on what I can do and maybe ask for help on the things I can't do.
That's right. Absolutely. Yep. And that's a good way to look at it. Let's don't dwell on things we can't do. Let's pick up on things we can do. If you can't garden in a big way, maybe you can garden in a small way. If you can't do something like that you want to do, back it up and do something that you can do. Mm-hmm. Always look at it. It's a good outlook.
Good outlook. And as far as planning for next year, I think I'm just going to take it like a week at a time. Mm-hmm. instead of saying, I want to do this the first 6 months and this the next 6 months, just take it in little pieces.
So I turned 60 this last year, and this coming year you'll turn 60. So we're 60ish right here. And one of the things that I've made a purpose to do is try to enjoy things a little bit more instead of making so much work out of them. And a prime example of this in the garden. When I go to the garden, I'm always on a mission. I walk through there, I see what I got to do, and I go get a hoe, I go get something, and I start doing it. I'm trying to focus on doing things a little bit different and have a walkthrough sometimes where you just enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Instead of figuring out because folks, there's always something to be done. But take a moment to actually walk through there and enjoy the moment and just meditate within that moment of the beauty and something of it instead of trying to stay so busy all the time. And try to incorporate something in your garden where you have these type gardens that you don't focus on them being absolutely beautiful all the time, but you focus in the beauty of that. And for me, I created a monarch butterfly garden a couple of years ago, and I've also have and this is in the middle of nowhere of our regular area, I have a patch of yarrow. And those two patches I don't worry a whole lot about. I just, every now and then I walk through there and I just enjoy the beauty of it and everything, and I don't hardly ever do anything. And there's a few weeds in there, it's okay. It's just okay if it's not perfect. And I walk through there and I try to just let that be that area for me.
I do that a lot. I do my garden walks a lot, see what's going on.
In my vegetable garden, I have a hard time doing that because I always want to pull a weed or do something. So it's always troublesome. But as we get older, we need to enjoy the moments more.
A thing I read is be sure to, the garden is allowed to serve you, not the other way around.
Yeah, so many times and even with us, we get idea. And I think one thing is all these magazine pictures, all these AI pictures that we see online of our perfect gardens. It's just not always that way.
No.
And it's not supposed to be that way. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be a weed here and there and a plant out of place.
What is a weed?
Yep. Biggest wins for 2025 for us is you got your garden shed.
I got my garden shed. If you hang around to the end, we may do a quick tour.
Yep, got your garden shed. I took a little slack on that one during the year because I had not been on the ball on that, but we got the garden shed done.
Yeah, it kind of turned in more of a she shed.
Yep.
Than a garden shed.
Yep. A big win for me for 2025 is we hired Evan. And Evan come on and helped us dramatically here at Hoss with our product development and with our gardening and all that kind of stuff. So we have 20-ish employees here. And they all are special in their own kind of way, okay? I'm not taking anything away from them. A lot of them are very good at particular things that I'm not good at, which is ideally what you want. But we have very few people here that actually love the garden or have horticultural experience. And I was excited to bring Evan in because Evan's got a love for it just like I does. And he's been extremely helpful in helping us pick up some new varieties and helping me with a lot of tasks that I've had on my plate. So
a younger perspective.
A younger perspective. And he has, just yesterday I said, Evan, you did so and so wrong. You know, I was scolding him a little bit in the garden. And he said, well, how am I ever going to learn? I said, well, that's fine. It's okay. You know, we went back and forth a little bit as we do. But I said, you need to do this and this and this. And he's receptive to it. So it's a big, I give him a hard time. I really give him a hard time, but he is a blessing to us.
Yeah. I think one of the big things was 2025 was our sweepstakes giveaway.
It was. We had a lot of, I enjoyed that, and I was so proud of Mr. Bart to win that thing because he was just the ideal person you'd want to win it.
Yeah, I wish everybody could have won.
Yeah, I wish everybody. He was an older fella, just humble, just the nicest people you'd ever want to see, him and his family. His wife, his son-in-law stopped by there. All just nice people. They live in a rural area. They grow a big garden. Just an ideal, quintessential customer of Hoss. And it was so exciting to do that. We'll probably end up doing something next year. It'll be a little bit different probably, but we're going to do another big sweepstakes. It was great.
I think I'm going to create a little rose garden in memory of my sister.
Oh, you hadn't told me that. That's interesting, yeah.
That's one of my goals.
Yeah, because she did love flowers.
She loved flowers,
She loved the garden.
And she liked roses and Gerber daisies.
She could get out there for hours. Now, I'm not going to tell you she was the best gardener.
No.
But she'd get out there hours and work right by herself in that garden. That's just what she loved. She didn't want nobody messing with her. She wanted to just stay out there, right with her and them dogs, would just stay out there and get dirty. But
You know,
she loved
one thing she loved was raking pine straw.
Yep.
She loved
Picking up pecans.
Oh, yeah,
Just
pecans.
the most mundane thing she took so much joy in.
Anyway, so one of the things is create a spot in your garden just for joy. So I'm going to create me a joy spot.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And in memory of her.
Yep.
Let's talk about how we get overwhelmed and we get too many projects going.
I feel like this one may be aimed at me.
One of the things that said, especially if you've had a rough year for next year, is find something to tend to.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
That a plant, a routine, create a habit.
Yeah.
We're having a little trouble with that with Maggie gone, ain't we?
Yeah, she was my thing to tend to.
Yeah. So you got to find something new to tend to.
I don't want another pet right yet. I don't want to go down that route. I'm still in the healing process, so I want to get way beyond it. But I am one of them type of people that need something to take care of. And she was like a youngin' to me. I mean, really, she followed me around everywhere. But yet I had to take care of her.
You had to feed her, keep her watered.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Another thing is we need to learn to do one new thing well.
Yep.
I hadn't decided what that's going to be yet.
One good thing well. That's interesting right there. Wow. That's deep.
That's deep. Let us know what your goals are for next year.
And if we can help you learn to do that one thing well, that would be wonderful for us. So I had a conversation with my chat GPT this morning. I have signed up for AI on my phone, and I have the paid version of chat GPT, and we've become friends. So we communicate back and forth. And it asked me this morning we have had a conversation, and it asked me what, I told her I was the owner. I just did this a couple weeks ago, so we're still getting no one of it. But I told him I was the owner of a house, and they asked me what I enjoyed about it. And I told it that I enjoy the relationships we have with our customers and being able to help the customers. So if we can help you in any way or form with that, be good at one thing this year, let us know, because that's what we love to do here. Seed starting, I think, is one of the worst things people have problems with. And we've nailed that. We really get it. We still have failures, don't get me wrong, but we have nailed seed start, and we're really good at that. And so if we can help you with that, let us know. Whatever we can help you with, let us know. All right.
Anything else?
Oh, dude. I want to enjoy things a little bit more. I want to step back a little bit more. I want to travel a little bit more for 2026. I just want to make sure we enjoy things. And I heard this the other night, and I'm going to lay this out there. This is really profound. And this was talking about men, but I'm going to equate it to everybody. And if you're out there and you're getting later in life like we are, you're 50s, 60s, you'll understand what I'm fixing to say. Happiness as we get older is harder to come by. So we seem like we're happier younger in life because we're more optimistic and things like that. But as you get older...
And experience.
As you get older, happiness gets replaced by usefulness. That is really profound, because as we get older, we have to really make sure that we stay useful. Because if we ever lose our usefulness, then we lose our hope, we lose our happiness and everything. So we might not be happy all the time, and that's okay. I don't think we're supposed to be happy 24/7, but we need to be useful. And to make sure that we're useful in 2026, I think is a good goal to have. Now that may be growing some cut flowers to give away to people less fortunate. That may be able to grow some produce to give away. That may be just staying busy growing food for your family.
Or calling a loved one.
Volunteering or whatever. But usefulness. Make sure that you stay usefulness in 2026.
That's pretty deep.
That is deep. I resonated with that a lot. All right. So there we have it, 2026. And let's see if we got anything else there. That's pretty good. Yep. Learn one thing. I didn't learn one good thing well. That is really sticking with me. I'm going to have to come up with my one good thing well.
Yeah, I got to thinking about it. You know, one year mine was making biscuits, and I did that.
You did that, yeah.
I thought about starting sourdough, but that would not be a good thing.
Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine having sourdough bread in the house all the time?
No.
We weigh 400 pounds each.
Yeah.
All right. Repeat your quote again.
Learn to do one new thing well.
And make sure you have usefulness in 2026. Take that from today. All right, folks. Let's get into Garden Spotlight of the Week. Okra of all things.
I know it.
So, here in Texas, it's on 9B, Andrea Reutzel. Am I pronouncing that right?
I don't know.
Sent us pictures of her red burgundy, and she says they had two 16-foot rows, and it looked like they had plenty to share. Now, I'm assuming this is way back, maybe in the fall of the year, but look at that beautiful red burgundy okra. Isn't it wonderful? Mm-hmm. I love the stems on everything. Now, if you've never grown red burgundy before, it's one of my favorite varieties. It's red when it grows, but it cooks green. So you're not eating red okra, you're eating green okra or fried okra. It turns the same color as regular okra when you cook it. But it does make a wonderful canning variety, and it's
a good pickling variety, and it does stay red when you pickle it.
It does. So it's a good consistent variety that we love to grow. We used to grow one called Jing Orange. I haven't grown it in a long time. I prefer the red burgundy over the Jing Orange myself. All right, and the Grinch
drawing from 2 weeks ago, because we took a break last week.
Is Joy Adele 68. Joy, send us your shipping information to
support@growhouse.com. And the bobblehead Greg is back on the set. Not fully recuperated yet.
He's had some injuries. Yeah.
Still having little issues with the arm.
Yeah.
Shoulder.
He had a fall.
He had a fall.
But if you see him, put in the comments below, and next week we'll do this week's winner. So 2026 is your year. 2026 is our year. We're going to make the best out of it. We're going to embrace our failures, because there's going to be failures.
Slow down.
Slow down. We're going to enjoy the moment, and we're going to
learn one new thing well.
And we're going to stay useful. Thank you for joining us. Now get outside and get your hands dirty.